Hey, what's up guys, another video here. So today I want to talk about these 15-year-old boots that you see on the thumbnail. So I got these boots back in 2005 when I was still in college, went to the University of Illinois. So naturally they were very useful in the wintertime when it got quite cold and snowy in Illinois. But anyways, I've kept these boots this entire time. So I've been wearing them very often. Okay, and they're Timberland boots, and I paid $200 for them. But I think that's a good value when wearing them over a 15-year period. But anyways, these boots, while they're still functional, they're not so pretty, right? So I've been wearing them for 15 years, and they still work just great. They're still waterproof, but again, they're a little ugly from all the use. But anyways, these boots symbolize the need versus a want. Okay, so this boot still satisfies my the function that it serves, right? Which is to protect my feet against cold weather. So I've been wearing this entire time, and you want to categorize all your purchases between a need and a want. So of course I want to have all these nice shoes and whatnot, but they're not very necessary and they're not conducive to my ultimate goal of attaining lots of assets and of course retiring, which I'm close anyways. But you want to categorize all your purchases between needs and wants. So clearly this satisfies my need already, so there's no need to purchase a new boot. Okay, so it's really easy to categorize your life as far as purchases are concerned if you put them into buckets of needs versus wants. And you'll notice that many of the purchases that you do make that are superfluous are wants. Okay? And you need to reduce this want consumption to attain assets. So these want consumptions, they may be clothes, shoes, things like that. They will either maintain their value at very best, but they're most likely going to be losing value over time, their usage and whatnot. And unless they're a collector's item, they won't appreciate in value. So that's why you need to reduce this type of consumption, a want consumption, to obtain more assets. Okay, and these assets will grow in value, and they're going to help in your quest for gaining a higher net worth and early retirement. So this is where it all stems from: the need versus the want. And the third item that I want to mention is you can't carry any of these material possessions with you when you die, when you pass away. So what's the use of accumulating all these assets, these quote unquote assets, or should I say liabilities that decrease in value, and they won't help your descendants or your lineage if you do have them. And if you strongly believe in some kind of organization or cause, then you can actually give to that cause or organization in perpetuity if you set up your trust accordingly. So it's really important that you recognize that all these material possessions that you do have, you can't carry them when you die or pass away. So you can enjoy them during your lifetime, but ultimately it really leads to nothing because you can't carry them with you to the afterlife and you can't use them in the afterlife. There's only a finite time you can use them. And in the meantime, you can be gaining all these assets, which increase in value, which will, number one, help your descendants or your lineage, your blood descendants, or number two, it can go to a cause or organization or any type of group that really lines up with your values so they can continue your legacy when you pass away. And you have to keep in mind that the very rich don't buy these things necessarily. Some do, but many of the richest men in the world, they're either going to have a very nice home, but they're not going to be overly flashy in their clothing and shoes and whatnot because they understand that money is a tool to leave a legacy and it's not really a tool for massive consumption. So you have guys like, for example, Warren Buffett. He stays in the same home. Of course, it's paid off. Drives the same car. Doesn't have lots of fancy clothing and whatnot. So he understands the value of having assets and growing these assets. Same thing with Bill Gates, but keep in mind Bill Gates. He does have a very ornate home. a very, very expensive home. But he's growing his assets and he's giving to charitable organizations, things like that. So he's continuing his legacy through the Bill and his wife's foundation. So you have to understand that the very wealthy, or many of them, do not purchase these kind of frivolous things that depreciate in value. And again, I'm not saying all of them, but many of them recognize the value of the dollar and what they can do with the dollar or their assets as time goes on. So again, just to recap, this picture of the 15-year boot that I have from 2005 to now really symbolizes the need versus the want. So this fulfills its purpose, does its job, is functioning quite well, it's holding up its shape and condition, so it already satisfies my needs. So anything beyond this, it's going to be a want. And number two, you want to reduce your want consumption to attain assets that grow in value. So these assets that you do obtain, they are going to be growing at a certain rate, and they're going to be beneficial to your blood descendants or to any type of charity or organization or cause that you believe in. And it can be giving to those organizations in perpetuity if you have grown your assets in a way where it won't necessarily decrease in value if it's invested in the market. Number three is you can't carry any material possessions when you pass away. And you just have to be mindful of the fact that you are not immortal and you won't be able to enjoy these items in the afterlife. So you may enjoy them in the present, but if it overtakes your current budget and all your money to have all these want consumption needs, it's not going to be the most productive, and it won't be a benefit to anyone in the future. So you have to really keep that in mind. And lastly, the rich buy assets, not things. So keep that in mind, that the most wealthy, while they do have a lot, they're creating a legacy in perpetuity for the assets they do have and continue to grow. So hopefully this kind of raises the eyebrow for you, and hopefully you continue to buy assets, not liabilities. And hopefully, again, that you maintain your legacy and you have something that people can benefit from in the future, either a cause, organization, or group that you believe in. So anyways, thanks guys for watching the video, and stay tuned for the next video.